Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson and talking about the Lakers, ending up saying something very, very curious to a whole bunch of folks out there listening. Naturally, I felt the need to comment. Listen to what Jeff Van Gundy, noted basketball analyst extraordinaire, had to say on Saturday night's telecast of the NBA on ABC. Listen to this.
And look, I think in the offseason, they have to rebuild this roster, right? And to me, it could be a trade with, for an Anthony Davis, or I think they need to explore trading LeBron for getting as much as they can.
What are you doing? Seriously. No, seriously, what are you doing?
No, you got to get on the right timeline. If I could trade him for the Clippers into cap space, which would give me a better chance to get Durant or Kawhi Leonard, would I not do that?
Okay, LeBron James is not getting traded. Okay.
You got to put everything on the table.
No, you can't.
All I hear from the players now is it's business. Everything is business. Well, if it's business, then I have to do what's best for my business. I'm not saying you definitely trade him. I'm saying everything's on the table to get this team better. Everything.
In fairness to my boy Champ, based out of Detroit, who always has brought up the possibility of LeBron being traded, because there's no greater LeBron James hater than him. You got Carlton with Bill Belichick and the Patriots. They won't stop. He can't stop cheating. You remember Carlton? That's Champ when it comes to LeBron. He just can't help himself. He's going to always find a problem with LeBron James. But in fairness to him, my boy Champ, he has religiously brought up the notion of trading LeBron James. I think he's insane. Jeff Van Gundy saying the same thing, not necessarily so, but I emphatically disagree with him. Now, Jeff Van Gundy waited a little bit too late to the party, came a little bit too late to the party when it came to trading Patrick Ewing eventually, so I find it a tad bit odd that he's to this point maybe learned the error of his ways because the Knicks traded Patrick Ewing to Seattle a little bit too late. But here's the deal with LeBron. LeBron, when healthy, is still arguably the best player on the planet. LeBron is great for the business of the Lakers. LeBron is a 27-point-per-game scorer. LeBron brings all of that to the table. If you had talent around him, there is no denying what he brings to the table. Now, it makes sense, and here's the biggest thing that Jeff Van Gundy's position doesn't make sense. Because Magic Johnson, a relative rookie at this, along with Rob Pelinka, another relative rookie at this. And you know how I feel about my man Magic. That's my brother. I'm rooting for him. But he's new at the job. If this were Jerry West, the great Jerry West, and Dr. Buss, the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss, God rest his soul, if he were still alive and running the Los Angeles Lakers with Jerry West as his guy, there's nothing to talk about here. Whatever they decide to do, you trust them because they were that brilliant at what they did. But we're talking about Magic and Pelinka here. And we're talking about the ability or lack thereof for you to attract marquee free agents. Like when Jeff Van Gundy said, all right, I got to do everything. I got to put everything on the table. Excuse me, are you sure you'll be able to get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving if you don't have LeBron? Are you sure you'd be able to get Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant if you don't have LeBron? Are you sure you'd be able to get Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant if you don't have LeBron? The fact of the matter is, we can't be certain they have anybody. The fact of the matter is, we can't be certain they'd be able to get anybody because nobody will want to come. That's the problem that the Lakers have. See, Jeannie Buss, lovely, wonderful Jeannie Buss, is convinced that everybody wants to be a Laker. No, they're not. No, they don't. There is a legitimate argument. This is the reason why the Anthony Davis situation was such a big deal. Because Anthony Davis may be the only marquee free agent willing to come to L.A. for the Lakers. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something. And my God, I hope I'm wrong because I think basketball is better when the Lakers are relevant. Please understand, I don't root against the Lakers. I root for them. And as much as I love my man Doc Rivers, and I respect the hell out of the great Jerry West and Steve Ballmer and what he brings to the table, let me be very, very, very clear. When people are talking about coming to LA, they're talking about the Clippers. They're not talking about the Lakers. You look at Jeannie and the Bus family, and God bless them and respect them from the standpoint of what they've been able to accomplish with the Lakers. But the Lakers brand is everything. Ladies and gentlemen, their opponent in town is a man by the name of Steve Ballmer, who's worth over $22 billion. Lawrence Frank is renowned for his work ethic and, by the way, his basketball knowledge. And he was a former coach in the NBA. He's now your president of basketball operations. Is Doc Rivers not a candidate for Coach of the Year with the job that he's done with this bunch? And Jerry West, the silhouette, quite possibly the greatest basketball mind this game has ever seen. There is no executive who once played more accomplished than him. He just happens to be the consultant who's the right hand of the $22 billion owner. That is who the Lakers are going up against.